Good afternoon, everyone. This is meteorologist Ted Keller. I'm recording this severe weather update, one of a couple we might need here over the next couple of hours. This is being recorded at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I wouldn't use this much past about 5 or so, because we do use current information like this radar loop and satellite loop, for example, showing a few isolated showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two have been drifting across the area today. They're doing so in an atmosphere that's not really that unstable. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of those cells were to pop up, maybe a little small hail and some certainly lightning, but they're not the main concern. You see on the very last frame of this loop, as I'm recording this, the Storm Prediction Center has come up with this area here. This is their sort of pre-watch zones called the mesoscale discussion area, and they're saying that's about a 60% chance right there of a weather watch being issued basically within or close to that area outlined in that sort of pink color. And so that's what we're going to be watching here for the next couple of hours. This area out here is becoming increasingly unstable, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. So any of these little cells you see popping up here, or maybe eventually up along here, will become severe maybe pretty quickly and then drift toward western Missouri as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. You can show the instability here rather readily, and let me turn off the mesoscale discussion. And the areas in yellow and red are where the air is becoming increasingly unstable, and there's this little seemingly strange bubble of air that is more stable. That's going to go away. That's just leftover cloudiness and cool air from the outflow boundaries from this morning. Eventually that entire area there of southeast Kansas will become pretty unstable, and so that's the area of concern for the next couple of hours. And let me zoom out a little bit, and you can see how the sun is breaking through in areas out here through parts of southern Kansas. So that's the area I think we need to be watching for, again, the possibility of severe storms. What are the threats? The main ones are hail and gusty winds. Let me switch to this radar real quick. Again, keep in mind I'm recording this just shortly after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the Storm Prediction Center just readjusted their severe weather outlook. Not so much for the Ozarks, though. Almost all of us are pretty solidly in it now, including a chunk of northwest Arkansas that wasn't before. And the 2% tornado risk goes right along with that here. And let me see if they updated the polygon. They sure did. There it is. So the area shaded in green there is the 2% tornado risk area, which is just blanketed to cover everyone within the slight risk area. So what that basically says is, especially when these storms initially fire out through Kansas, they could produce a weak tornado. Probability drops maybe a little bit once they start drifting into Missouri. Certainly it's not zero. Springfield not directly under the gun with this, but we'll just have to monitor during the evening to see how far these storms get before merging into what will eventually be a pretty wet storm complex, producing inches of rain for some folks. And I'll have other discussions on that coming up on my regular weather report coming up here in about an hour or so. But I'll be watching this situation very carefully today. And as watches start to pop up and warnings become more common, I'll bring you at least one more update here, probably in the early evening hours.